Anyways, let's do the intro. Okay, so welcome to Geekykomori, a very special episode of Geekykomori where we're just gonna talk about Danganronpa and spoil everything. Full
Big old
on,
Spoilercast.
full on Danganronpa spoiler cast for all the
All
games,
of them.
everything.
Even Ultra Despair Girls.
Maybe a little
Probably.
bit. I don't think either of us have beaten it, so I don't know how much we have
I've
to say
never
about
beaten it, but I've seen a full Let's Play of it on a couple.
I just played a little bit of it. I never saw anything
I've played
past
a
like
fair amount of it though,
4
but
hours maybe.
it was kind of hard to get into playing.
Yeah, I thought it was alright.
Yeah.
Alright, so if you haven't played Danganronpa, don't watch this. Don't listen to
No.
it. Just leave.
No.
If you're like in the middle of Danganronpa 2, don't watch this. You have to had finished all the games. I mean, you probably will be spoiling the anime as well, the Danganronpa 3 anime.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably not the novels because I don't think any of us have read them.
Yeah, I read a bit of Danganronpa If. It was very weird. I stopped reading it.
I didn't read any of them.
Alright, so let's just get right into it.
Okay, so do you want to mention that you just finished the third game?
Well, yeah, I did. I just finished Danganronpa V3.
Yesterday?
Yes, yesterday. After a long
God damn.
while.
Quite.
Because I got the game the day it came out on PS4. In like September of 2017. So this has been a long time coming.
Did have a lot of issues with it. All the losing your save data.
Oh yeah, there's that.
2 or 3 separate times.
I think it was only once.
I think it was twice.
Well, no, because I lost the Vita save data, so
Yeah,
I lost.
No, it was just your entire PS4,
Well, yeah, no. The thing
Bro.
is,
right?
I lost my all my PS4 data, and like basically half the data I had on my Vita because I had like 2 memory cards. So I kept everything I had in the old memory card, which was my completed Danganronpa 1 save file, but that memory card had half of my Danganronpa 2 save file. So when I was playing school mode, I lost that
The
save
save file for 2 is gone?
Half of it.
No.
Only half.
No!
No.
I
Yeah,
did kind of lose all of my save stuff for them too, but I had already beaten all of them, so it's not.
That's
It's not
something I
that
was
bad.
wondering. I was wondering if you could like, if there was any way for you to send me your Danganronpa 2 save file, so that if I bought it on Steam, I could just play school mode.
I wonder. I think you could probably actually do that, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I don't know.
I wanted
You might
to
actually have to
play
put it on a
school
flash
mode.
drive and like physically put it on my computer.
I could probably upload it to like,
Google
What's
Drive
that-
or
that's
Dropbox or
like-
something.
yeah, Google Drive or something. Yeah, but I can't do that now. I wonder if I can go into like the Steam cheats menu thing and just try to get back to where I was.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Alright, so V3 has a very controversial ending.
Very.
Has been stated to me over the years, but you know, I never really knew what to expect.
That's probably better. Not
yeah.
knowing what to
So
expect.
yeah, I was not spoiled at all, and I didn't like it.
Didn't like the ending.
No, I didn't
What-
think
what-
it was good.
What specifically was it that
Um,
didn't strike your fancy?
I just like Danganronpa has always had meta elements, but I feel like they took the meta elements too far. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, the game just kind of warped into something that it never was before. It just became a different thing right at the end. It felt really weird and alien.
That's how it's kind of always been, though.
I don't know, like the
first game, the that whole crazy
when you comparing
chapter.
it to the previous two games. They were
More
still
comparable to the ending to 2, though.
yeah, but they were still within the realm of their own canon because like in Danganronpa 2, throughout some of the game, at least half of it, I kind of had the same outlook on it as I did with V3 because I was like, is this connected to the first one? Is it its own thing? And then you see those connections.
It takes place quite far into the future.
Yeah,
from the other ones.
You see the connections in 2, and then you're like, oh, it was all in the simulation, so all this stuff makes sense now, and like they play around with that. And I thought that was a fantastic ending, especially how it ended, where you have Naegi and Kirigiri and Togami come back, and then you just have the shot of like Hajime looking out at the island.
Yeah. They did kind of have a similar scene at the end, though, when they leave the...
They did.
So I like that scene quite a bit, when they leave the... I don't know what to call it. It's not a simulation.
The fourth wall. The literal fourth wall.
Okay, the fourth wall, I guess.
Yeah, so I wrote down some notes while the twist was happening.
No.
So like Tsumugi does her whole thing, and like, you know, Tsumugi being the mastermind was interesting enough. Like,
yeah,
they made it make sense, like somewhat.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, there's other stuff with it. So like that was fine enough. And then like she becomes all the different characters, and that's cool. And I really actually liked the part where you have to just remember stuff about the previous games in order to progress.
If you didn't play those, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I just think that that's such a great mechanic of like,
yeah,
if you didn't play the other games, then you're fucked. I just really like the concept of that. But
the ending is quite comparable to the ending to Danganronpa too. They were like, it's a game, and then they really took it to the next level, and they're like, this is just a game.
I feel like it was
the real enemy is Team Danganronpa.
It wasn't like, oh, it was just a game because you were in a computer simulation, and it's actually a game in real life. The ending of Danganronpa 3 really was just
confusing lore.
Yeah. I mean,
explanation.
Well, the thing was, it was backed up by lore. The thing about the ending of V3 is it's like Kodaka like comes out of your Kodaka opens the door next to you, and he's just like, you are playing a video game right now.
He sure does.
It was I don't know. It was
kinda
dumb.
I do think it was pretty thought through though. Like I wasn't really. I was caught massively off guard, but I was able to accept that this was what he had planned from the beginning.
I mean, I can appreciate the thought behind it, because after like researching, like hearing stuff he said in interviews and like his take on the ending, like you can see where he's coming from, but like when I was playing it, I was like, it just feels like he was frustrated, like he didn't want to make the game, so then at the end he was like, I'm gonna ruin everything.
I don't think it ruined anything.
It made everything almost not matter. I mean, like, obviously,
really?
The rest of the game was good enough in the moment to, like, remain in my mind as a good story, but, like, the ending just makes everything kind of pointless.
Sort of the point, though, I think.
I guess,
the game's always had... The theme to all of them is just despair.
Yeah, well, it's hope and despair and the truth.
I do think it was kind of lazy that Junko was kind of behind it again, but not really.
Junko was
just like
again.
A crazed imposter, Junko.
Yeah.
Junko Enoshima the 53rd.
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of goofy how it's actually 53 instead of V3.
Oh, there's a big spider on my wall.
Hold on God.
Cut it out.
Big spider. It's my favorite arc from the the Index series, the Rail Dex series.
Did you cut all that out?
I guess. I will. I didn't stop recording.
That's the fourth one I killed today.
Oh jeez. Spider
Tired of
invasion.
seeing spiders.
No more. Get him out of here.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
We're talking about the ending of E3.
What specifically were we saying?
Talking about how it's shit.
Ah!
We
were talking about Junko Enoshima the 53rd.
Yeah.
Because that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. All the characters came back, I guess. And they were all Junko / Tsumugi.
Kind of. I can see how it. I mean, it's way too similar to the end of 2. Sort of lazy, I guess. But, I mean, Kodaka had always been pretty seemingly outspoken about his hesitation to make a third game. So this was his send-off. I think, like, he wouldn't always be able to come up with ideas, and I think he already exhausted his idea bank.
Out. That's what
and
it feels like.
Him saying that this was the 53rd game is like the worst case scenario to him, as if he went to continue to make more games after 3, that they would just go on for that long.
Yeah.
I think that's the point he was trying to get at.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
That's the reason why I don't like it.
That's the reason why I like it. I like the big screw you to the fans.
I don't know. I hate that. I just, in my notes, I wrote the game is just being passive aggressive now.
Yeah.
Because so he did say that. When it shows like the quote Danganronpa fans from the other universe, he said you're supposed to feel a disconnect between them and yourself. But while I was playing it, I was like, is he just like trying to bully the fan base? What the fuck?
Yeah, I
was really confused by that. And it was so fucking annoying when you do the rhythm game with Kibo and it just repeats like Hope and Despair over and over again.
Yeah,
that was probably the worst thing I've ever played.
Jesus.
I don't know about that, but I don't like the rhythm minigame.
You didn't like
V3.
the ending? Did you hate it though? Would you go as far to say that?
I don't know. It didn't ruin the rest of the game. It like, I don't know. I don't know if I can say.
It's like some serious. I don't know what it's comparable to.
It's comparable to It Was a Dream the whole time.
Sort of.
Yeah, it's
but
like
they did have an in-universe explanation for it.
Yeah, because like Kodaka also said that he wanted you to feel like you were like shooting off the final refutation alongside Shuichi.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't feel that at all. I was like completely disconnected from the game at that point. I was just like, I don't give a shit what even happens next. Everyone else, the whole cast can die for all I care.
Jeez. I'm sorry you didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, at least they had that epilogue at the end, because
that was nice.
In the epilogue they like play with the idea of like what if certain things Tsumugi said were lies, and like I don't know, like
not very
like
clear.
the only saving grace of the twist ending is the game saying maybe it wasn't even real. Maybe the twist ending wasn't actually the real twist, and the game is actually not bad.
Who even knows?
I don't know. I like that Maki lived. Kind of predicted
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Yeah, the two best girls lived.
Yeah, I would have screamed if Maki died.
Yeah, or Himiko. It would have just been really sad if Himiko died.
You kind of hated Himiko at first.
At first? Because she was just attached to Tenko, and I never really liked Tenko.
When did you start liking her?
Whenever Tenko died. So okay, so I guess we'll just talk more general V3 stuff now. So like
Mhm.
Tenko did become likable near the end because like she starts to warm up to Shuichi and stuff.
Yeah,
But the
she was
whole
quite kind of insufferable
yeah, the
prior to
whole
that, I
rest of
think.
the game, she was just like the most annoying character.
She just repeated the same like
Yeah,
four
like
things over again,
her whole trope is she hates
which
men.
was my same problem with Miyu. She was just too one note.
Oh, well, Miyu's dialogue is the best.
It's so one note. It's like the same
It's the
thing
same.
worded
Okay, it's
differently.
like the same joke, but at least she says
It's
it in
just
different ways, and
shock humor.
instead of just saying degenerate males every time.
Uh,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
really
She
see a
had some pretty good
difference.
lines.
Eh, don't like her.
Yeah.
The thought has been got.
Yeah, she did. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like um her presence didn't really stick with me once she was gone. Like,
She really didn't do much in like any of the trials or anything.
yeah, and like, cause I feel like a lot of Japanese games have this. At least like RPGs and Danganronpa, they have the characters that do things in the story. You know, like Kirigiri or
Hmm.
Nagito, like the characters that are really important to the story. And then the characters that are just kind of there, like the fucking apple girl from Danganronpa 2 or Hagakure.
Oh, the what?
The apple, her hair looks like an apple. The
Oh,
photography
Mahiru?
girl, yeah, Mahiru. She's such a
She
non-entity
really
in my
didn't
mind.
do. She really didn't do a whole lot either.
Yeah, she died,
She
right?
kind of, yeah. She
Uh-huh.
got bashed in the head.
Yeah, she got vibe
The bat.
checked by Pekko.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pekko was
Oh,
also kind of a like block of wood until she died.
she did have more of a personality, though. I think I liked Pekka,
Maybe I should have done her free time
especially
events.
towards the end.
Well, yeah, after her trial is like where all her
Hmm.
character development happens,
Although I was
and it's
so
really
annoyed that
good.
she kept saying for like the last 20 minutes of that time, the trial, she's like, "I'm just a tool. I'm just supposed to be used. Look at me. Look how sad my life is." I'm gonna
uh,
repeat this line for 20 minutes now.
uh-huh.
I get it.
Yeah, it's like all right.
Wasn't she not
V3 kind
even
of
the like?
what's
She
it?
wasn't even the person she was masquerading as. What was their name? The serial killer she was pretending to be.
Oh, I don't know. Was that serial killer also linked to like the magical girl thing? Or
What?
was that just a different thing? But yeah,
The
like
what?
Sonya was investigating serial killers.
Sonya was, and I think I don't remember what happened. I think Pekko saw what she was doing somehow and pretended to like become that person to frame it on them or something.
Uh, they
She
were
wasn't
like
actually
that
the
murderer.
person
It
though,
could be one of us or something.
which was kind of upsetting. I think I would have preferred that, although that would have been kind of a repeat of like Toko's little
Yeah, I
arc,
think that's probably it because it's probably like to bait you into thinking that they were gonna do something similar.
which they did
Because
not.
the second game has a lot of that, like kind of reversing tropes from the first one or playing off them. Which is like my favorite joke in the
Did
series
you
is
like
whenever
the like actual explanation behind Kaede's attempted murder though?
I was fine with that. It gave like
How she failed?
it gave more tragedy to her character.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and just so like we definitely have to talk about that. It's just the initial gut punch
I
of
just liked how the ending did not hold back for anything.
yeah. I mean, you could definitely say that. Like the initial gut punch of, you know, going this whole time being like, oh yeah, Kaede is the main character. Yeah, like the first female lead in a Danganronpa game. Um,
Second,
second, who's the first then?
Komaru.
Komar. Oh yeah, yeah, I kind of forget about
And
that game
Toko.
sometimes. Yeah. Um. So yeah, so it's like we finally have a mainline Danganronpa game with a female protagonist, and that's cool. And 2017 had a lot of that.
Did it?
Yeah, it had like Tales of Berseria and Nier Automata, and probably some other games, but I don't remember.
Um, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. So it was so unexpected because you have this time with her, um, being the main character, and you have no reason to believe that she wouldn't be the main character. So
I
to
didn't
have
even. Apparently, her like trying to kill the mastermind was a fairly predictable thing, but I did not like catch on to that until like the very end in
I
the
don't know,
trial.
especially
I was
because
like, nah, she's too nice. She doesn't want to kill the mastermind. She just wants to capture him and go, gotcha.
it, and it also happens in like the most confusing segment in
It
the game, and
does.
like the weird song is blaring, and like no one
That
knows
was
what's going
so
on, and everyone's
annoying.
freaking the fuck out.
That was so annoying.
Yeah, I actually like I went into the options and I muted the song the first time so that
Oh
when I
god.
got to Rentaro there was no music and it kind of ruined it. Yeah, it was kind of shit. But
Ow.
it was effective.
What'd you think of Rontaro's talent?
It was interesting. Ultimate Survivor. I thought it was gonna be like
Ironic.
yeah, ironic that the Ultimate Survivor dies in the first chapter.
But he did have. Do you remember what his original talent was prior to Ultimate Survivor?
No, I didn't
It
catch
was
that.
like Ultimate Adventurer.
Adventurer.
Yeah,
What
he
kind of
went on like
adventures did he go on?
just like expeditions and like jungles and stuff, I
He just
guess.
looks like an
He
Abercrombie
talks
model.
about it in his free time events in the what's it called, Dangan Salmon Team, I think.
Something. Yeah, it has some like really weird name. I just call it
Yeah,
school mode.
he talks about it in that, if I recall correctly.
Uh huh. It's like this.
So he was. Is he the only? He was the adventurer, then he was the ultimate survivor, and then he's the ultimate non-survivor.
The ultimate non-survivor. Yeah. Um.
I really like weird sci-fi stuff though, so that's probably why I really liked the ending.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like.
I
Uh.
think you'll probably need a like. I don't expect you to like it as much as I do, but I do suggest thinking on it a little bit more.
Yeah. I've had like less than a day to think on it.
I didn't like it initially. I was pissed. I hated it.
Yeah. I mean,
And
like.
after like a week, I was like, you know what? That was pretty cool, actually.
I don't know. I guess like. I'll never be able to enjoy it in the moment, which is
It
something
was
that
the
is
ultimate despair.
it was the ultimate
It
despair.
really,
It
really
was the
was.
ultimate. Truly, this was the phantom pain because because it was bad and I didn't like it. Therefore,
Ow.
it made me sad, which was the original intent. Holy shit!
Well,
It's
that's what
actually
it did.
genius.
I
Fuck
know.
you.
It kind of is.
I hate stuff like that.
Really?
Like, yeah,
I think it was done well enough.
I really dislike the acknowledgement of fiction in fiction.
I don't really like that usually because now it's kind of overdone.
Uh-huh. And like, okay, so
Like it was cool if when Metal Gear
they
did it, I guess, and then
when Metal
everyone
Gear,
did
well,
it.
yeah, well, Metal Gear also did it in a way that was, um, it was like mindfucky and self-referential, but it was also in universe because like the idea in MGS2 is like your first thought to believe that Raiden was trained in VR missions, which are you know an uh, already established thing in the MGS world.
I
Uh,
do allude to the like ending and setup from like the very beginning of the game though.
in
When you start it
V3,
up, yeah, when you start up and everyone's in their normal clothes.
yeah, yeah. Like I was always wondering about that. Like V3 definitely had a lot of like it would show you things with not much information, and then you would be like, "Oh,
It
what
says
was with that?" And then
it
find
says
out later.
Team Danganronpa when you start up. It says this game was a work of fiction.
Well, yeah, like every game does that.
I know, but it was still funny.
I like everything that's like 17 plus in Japan has that.
Yeah. I would have
Um,
never, like, if I was a writer, I would have never thought to include minor things like the opening credits and logos
yeah.
to incorporate into the ending of the game, the climax.
Yeah, I mean, I did like that they reference back to like all the other stuff. They show like all the CGs from 1 and 2 and even Ultra Despair Girls,
And it has
which I was
always
cool.
reiterated, the ending always, is that a word?
Reiterated.
Reiterated something which I've always deemed quite important. Well, the characters were all upset that everything they know is fake, basically, right?
Uh-huh.
And then Shuichi says something like, just because this game's not real doesn't mean my feelings aren't, or something along those
Yeah.
lines.
It's like, okay, so
And
it's like,
and that was quite powerful to me because, I mean, I think you can relate to this. Lots of games
yes.
kind of shape you and make you into the person you are
Yes. So
now. Like,
I
it's an entirely fictional thing. You're playing, like, Persona 4, for example, in your
yes.
case, because that's, like, your favorite game.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an entirely fictional thing, but I don't think without it you would be the person you are today.
Yes. Like the idea of
Because
the
it
ending
touched
definitely
you.
yes, definitely was that like
And that's what I got from V3.
fiction can have real effects. But I felt like the way they went about it in V3
I
just
don't think you can handle it delicately.
it wasn't because I've seen it done better.
In?
In the recent Dragon Quest movie, Dragon Quest Your Story, which basically has the same plot twist.
Yeah.
But even that's more in line with Danganronpa 2.
Well, they did actually, the characters who actually died actually did kind of die
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah, I don't know,
This is supposed to be probably the final Killing game. If they ever did make another game, they would have to do one of the other 50 ones. I don't think you can make a sequel to V3. It'd have to be one of the other ones they alluded to. Although, did you catch the references with the logos of the?
Of course,
you
yeah.
know?
There was a Final Fantasy one and a Gundam
There was
one.
a Your Name one.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't catch that one.
Was it Danganronpa 5 or 6? It was Danganronpa 5 or 6, Hope's Name, and it had like the same
That's cool.
logo and colors.
I like the Gundam one. It said Despair's counterattack, like Char's counterattack.
And they had the Shin Godzilla one.
Yeah, those were charming, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just my problem.
Kind of want to play those.
My problem with the way that the game handles that twist is, well, one, because of the audience, because they were just so annoying and they just felt so like passive aggressive to the fan base. That really annoyed me.
The in-game audience?
Yes, the in-game audience.
So like the contestants, you mean?
No, like the people outside.
The
They were like,
stills?
what's up?
The like stills of the actual faces?
Yeah. Well, they were there, but then they would also like interject, I guess, a little. They had like comments.
They were quite memey though.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
It felt more like a YouTube comment system.
Yeah, but it just felt so.
It gave me like. It reminded me of. These are the two things I can compare it to. It reminded me of the Truman Show.
I've never
and
seen
it reminded me.
Close.
It reminded me of. Is it the season finale to the season 1 of Doctor Who, the 9th Doctor, when they forced them to be on the game shows?
I guess.
Those are the two things it was comparable to.
I don't know if that was supposed to be meta. I really didn't.
That was
get a
kind of meta.
from
I
that.
think.
I thought that was just
really
kind of like
though.
more Doctor Who. Just Doctor Who being Doctor Who.
I mean, It's a really, really weird ending. I think you can
Yeah.
probably see now why it's so
Why it's so
controversial.
controversial. Yeah, definitely. I
I don't
just
know how divided it is though. Like if generally more people like it or more people
I feel
don't.
like more people
I,
dislike it, but from what I can tell, I
I know
assume
initially most people disliked it, but I
yeah.
think more and more people like it now.
I assume people go through the same kind of thing that you did, where like
Yeah.
they don't like it at first and then they come around to it, which I don't see that as a good thing. I think you should enjoy something while it's happening.
It just takes a while to think about these things sometimes. It's
Yeah,
like
but it's
that's a
still
lot you experience.
it still takes away from it if you're not enjoying it in the moment. 'Cause like I don't know. Like
Sort of.
maybe it was like really well written, but while it was happening, I
I
hated it.
I don't know if I can call it well
So
written.
I don't.
I really don't know, but
I think
incredibly enjoyable to
it was
me at
very
least.
poorly handled.
How would you
And
prefer to them have gone about that?
well, I would have preferred if it didn't take like 5 hours.
I don't remember it being that long, but I remember the trials in V3 were generally longer than like the previous
Yes, they
games.
were very long. Not always for good reasons. I
Get
feel
a
like
lot of reiterating.
yeah, a lot of Danganronpa has that problem, but I feel like the trials in 1 or 2 were a lot tighter than in 3,
I think they're
cause
too fast in one.
maybe, cause just I don't know
They're
they
quite two has quite the perfect length for them though.
yeah I never had a problem with the trials in 2. The
There's way
thing
too much other things in V3 going on for me to be upset about the length. Like all the interactions between the characters were quite humorous.
yeah like there was a
And
lot
what was
of
it called? Scrum debate? The
oh yeah
thing with the
Scrum debate
podium
was always
flying?
awesome. I
Come
love
on.
Scrum debate and they reference more phenomenal. I love
What?
that. So like when the Scrum debate thing happens, Monokuma says like introducing our more phenomenal trial ground,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's a reference to like the original like American version of Power Rangers, where like
What?
more phenomenal was a saying that didn't catch on. They like
Of
tried to
course.
push it.
Oh my god, that's quite a very weird
Yeah, and
reference.
then so they had that, and then later on in a special where Johnny Young Bosch, the boy himself, comes back, and they made him say more phenomenal,
Why
and
is Johnny
he
Young Bosch not credited in V3 as Hajime?
what
Is
he
that even
might not be Hajime because I know in the demo he didn't
sounds
play
so
Hajime.
so different.
Yeah, in the demo he definitely didn't play Hajime, but whenever uh, Sugumi
Tsumugi.
Sumugi cosplays as him, it sounds pretty
Yeah.
similar.
Oh, I noticed it immediately. It was very, very pronounced.
Uh-huh.
I was like, who is this man and why is he not Hajime?
Yeah, like what is going on here? That's such a I have no idea why they did that. That's such a weird thing.
What'd you think of the real protagonist being Kibo?
That was just really
That
weird.
probably
I don't
pissed you off.
understand what happened there cuz yeah, that's
Do you need
another
an
thing of
explanation? Did you not follow?
that's
Or
another cuz like in that last trial it switches
yeah, you play as
perspective like three
Maki and
times.
Himiko and Kibo
Yeah.
for a bit, yeah. Did you
So
like Kibo going apeshit and blowing everything up?
yeah, I mean that was pretty cool and out of nowhere, and like I like that it opened up passageways that would have been opened by the key items, and it was just like, oh,
Mhm.
well now that Kibo's just like going ham up there, I can like go down to this secret lair, go to the fucking Bat Cave, and get the history of
Why
the
is
world.
Kokichi's lair the Batcave?
Yeah, it's just
He's not Batman. He's not the ultimate Cape Crusader.
he is
He's
now.
the ultimate prankster,
Yeah,
basically.
basically.
I
He's
like
got
just
his.
about all the things surrounding Kokichi. I thought he was a very, very interesting character.
I think he was really well written, but he probably.
Especially I think that my favorite trial, I guess we're jumping ship now onto the other topic. Favorite trial was probably the one second before the ending.
Yeah, I mean that was a really
Spoiler
good
alert, Kokichi has his crazy plan to kill himself in a
one.
press.
That was
He
really
didn't
Galaxy
know
Brain.
who
That was
the
fun.
victim was or the murderer, despite them being at the trial in a mech.
Yeah.
They're
They
like, "Is
keep
this
switching
Kokichi? Is this
sides.
Kaito? Who is this man?"
Yeah, my favorite part about that is whenever he's Kaito is talking as himself and he calls Maki Maki roll, but Maki thinks that it's Kokichi talking, so she's just like, "Don't ever call me that."
Well, she kind of thought
I like that
Kaito
about
died in the press.
Yeah. I once I saw his sleeve
This
coming out of
little
there, I
still
was
of him
like,
popping
that's
out.
definitely not Kaito. But in my mind I was like Kodaka knows that I would think that it's not Kaito. So maybe it actually is Kaito and he's just exploiting my skills of deduction that I've built up through playing these games.
I don't remember what I thought during most of the trials. It's been like too long.
Yeah, it was just like that, like reverse psychology nonsense.
I remember being like, I remember towards the end, I knew it was Kaito, and even then, when he popped out with the mech, I was still quite sad because I was like, "Ah, no!"
Because
No.
Kokichi died.
Because Kaito was gonna get executed.
Oh well, yeah.
Although he was such a badass, he was like, "I'm gonna let my terminal illness kill me before the execution."
Yeah, that was rad.
Did you like the throwback to the opening of the first game with
Of
that
course,
execution?
yeah, it was awesome.
That was so awesome. Loved it.
Because
was
how
like,
how
I
else are
remember
you
that.
gonna execute the ultimate astronaut?
Gotta reach for the stars.
Yeah. Although that's another thing that annoys me about the ending. It's like, oh yeah, so he died from his illness instead of Monokuma, but then it's like, apparently his illness wasn't even real. Question
I mean,
mark?
it was real, but
But was it really?
it did kill him, so of course it was real to some degree.
Maybe, I don't know. See, that's the thing that the
It's
ending
really
does.
hard to explain the end.
It's like, because like you're looking back on the game and you're like, oh, that part was so cool, but based on what Tsumugi says in the end, it actually doesn't mean anything.
It just had the same, like, it really wasn't that different from the ending to the second game, except everyone did actually die. Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, we did discuss that already. But
Yeah.
in Danganronpa 2, in the game at least, the characters that died actually died, but then they like
then they
retconned
kind
that
of
in the
retconned
anime.
that, and that's upsetting.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really weird. I did enjoy.
So, what was... So, Team Danganronpa was the ultimate villain. Tsumugi was just some crazed fan who was obsessed with Junko, right?
Yeah. And
Kind
so
of like
like
Monica was
I
in
guess
another episode.
I don't know anything about Monica. Like she's such a non-entity to me. She's
I
like
don't
she
really
was
like
in another
Monica.
episode and I didn't really play that game. And then she was in the anime and she fucking like went to
She's
space.
older now. I don't care. She's a gamer, I guess.
Yeah, she literally shows
Gaming
up in the
space.
anime for 2 seconds and is like, "Fuck it, I'm going to space," and then she just does.
Oh my god. I really, really don't like Danganronpa 3.
Like at all?
The more I think about, the less I like it. I still
Uh.
mostly like Future Arc. I cannot stand
Yeah.
Despair Arc.
Yeah,
It's
Despair Arc is kind of
insufferable.
shit. Although
What even happened in it? It was just
nothing.
so
Okay, so
over-
like
It was
if-
just an explanation of things that were already explained. We didn't need to see
Yeah.
them. They explained what
That-
happened in the second
yeah.
game.
it was like stuff that was either already explained or was never supposed to be explained.
No.
Because like in the
I don't
first
really
game,
know how they all became remnants of despair. That's stupid.
yeah, in the first game when it's like the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, you can tell that it's kind of a meme. It's like
Yeah,
it's
serious.
like this huge tragedy that flipped the world on side that was perpetrated by a single high school girl. They reiterate that a lot in V3. It's like that's kind of the point, is that it's really ridiculous.
Should we call it by its actual title now? Danganronpa 53.
No, I refuse.
That was really fucking...
If I ended up liking the ending, I would totally call it 53.
I laughed my ass off at that.
Yeah, I
literally had a conversation with someone. I was like, imagine if the V in V3 was the Roman numeral for 5.
You predicted the future.
Like, that would be crazy. Oh.
Well, it's real. I was like extremely bewildered when that happened. I was just like, whenever Tsumugi was like, it's all fiction, I was like, no, they can't be doing this. This can't be what they're doing.
Fully
like,
aware.
This can't be the plot twist.
They were fully aware. Come on. Kodaka's just like, I don't want to make games anymore. I'm making with Mr. Zero Escape Man.
I wanna go make FMV game. I wanna go make Shibuya Scramble 2.
I'm gonna go make
that game's probably gonna be awesome.
Kindergartners.
Yeah. I don't really...
Even gonna be Death March Club.
I don't really care about Death March Club, to be honest.
I'm very excited about it.
I haven't heard much about it. I'm more excited about Death Come True because it's an FMV game.
Ah.
And Shibuya Scramble looks pretty badass, so seeing another thing like it is cool.
It does. When's that coming out?
I have no idea. Probably a very long time.
No. I think Death March Club's supposed to come out next year?
Maybe. I think it was supposed to come out this year, but I haven't heard anything about it since like 2 years ago.
Yeah, kind of everything's been
delayed.
killed.
Yeah. Even the mobile ports of DR2 and V3 were delayed.
I would like to see Kodaka branch out more and do something like... I don't want Death March Club to be identical to Danganronpa. I want it to
I don't think it will
have more of an identity. Look at the tagline. What does it say? Hold on. Where'd it go? On the site right now, hold on. It said...
It's got very weird art.
Kill 12 to win 12-year-olds play.
What?
That's what it says on the English site. And then it disappears instantly because it's like... a dumb graphic thing.
Uh-huh.
This looks like Pokemon.
Yeah.
On LSD.
Yeah, it looks very strange and kind of
apparently it takes place like underwater or something. I don't know.
I guess it kind of looks like it, yeah.
Who even knows?
I don't know. We'll have to see when it comes out. Chukyo kind of announced like tons of different projects and hasn't really done anything with them yet.
I think they have quite a small team from what I know.
Yeah, so they're just in development on stuff. Yeah.
Quite a long while for most of these to see the light of day.
Yep. But
didn't they release like an anime series?
They announced it. They announced they're doing an anime called Akudama Drive, which looks pretty cool. And that got delayed recently. R.I.P. Alright, so I guess now we can talk more general stuff. I know there was a few things I missed. In Danganronpa 2, my favorite joke in the whole game is like right at the beginning. It's whenever Monokuma shows up and then he just reveals that
he just says you've lost all your memory.
Yeah, he just reveals the biggest plot twist from the previous game and then he's like, who would wait till the end to reveal such a stupid plot twist? I always thought that was hilarious.
Killing off his children again.
Oh, that was awesome. It was like
what the hell is wrong with him? So old and senile.
Yeah, it reminded me of playing Yoshi's Story.
What?
Because every time one of them would just
they die.
Yeah, because
they're gone.
Because they just be talking and then they just blow up, and every time it's like, no. Even though I don't particularly care about them, in that moment I cared more about them than I ever did.
when they're dead.
Yeah.
They fall in lava and burn alive.
R.I.P. Man. I like how Mono Kid dies because he's. Oh, wait, doesn't he get pushed? I thought he gets like pushed into an execution, right?
Yeah.
I always thought that he just jumped in there willingly.
No, that's Monodam. Monodam kills himself when Korekio's executed.
Yeah.
Jesus. He's like, I can't live with what I've done.
Jesus.
And he jumps into the fire.
Damn.
While also igniting it even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
Korekio's execution kind of sucked. It was like they spun him around and then he got set on fire or something.
He saw his sister's ghost and then she like threw salt in his eyes or something.
Oh yeah, he got exercise.
Yeah, oh yeah. Because he was a ghost. That was like, that was probably the weirdest thing to happen in that game. Aside from the ending, it was just like, dude, this guy's in love with his sister, but he is his sister.
That was quite weird.
Yeah, that was a great plot twist. That should have been the last plot twist.
Game end.
You are your sister, the end.
What did you so the original Japanese title of V3 is New Danganronpa V3, everyone's new killing game.
Yeah, I think that should have been the English title.
Seriously,
that means so much more to the ending.
Seriously, yeah, it was like Kibo was the audience's surrogate. Is that the word they used?
Yes, they did. Which
is like kind of being controlled by the audience.
I don't know. That would have been cool if he was the main character.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be a little too played out.
I like Shuichi being the protagonist.
Yes, I do love Shuichi as a protagonist.
I don't even. Well, like. Kaede's the first protagonist you play as, and she gets killed off, and it's Shuichi, but the canonical protagonist is Kibo. Because
he's the surrogate?
Yeah, because he was controlled by the... Remember, he would say sometimes he would get, like...
The inner voice.
He said it throughout the game,
mm-hmm.
but it's much easier to pick on, like, on subsequent playthroughs. He would mention that he has, like, an inner voice that sometimes tells him to do things.
Yeah, I did pick up on that.
Telling him, "Hey, you gotta do this."
I guess that's such a weird thing. That's like,
yeah.
I don't know. That's
and when
really
his
weird.
ahoge comes off, he can no longer hear his inner voice.
Yeah, I thought it was just like his ahoge comes off and then he goes berserk. that was fun. Like the debris knocked off his ahoge and then he just went fucking crazy.
Yeah. Kokichi had quite the batshit plan.
Yeah, Jesus. Kokichi, like,
knocking out all the security cameras. I would go as far to say he's more intelligent than Nagito. I think he is.
He's less insane.
There's a line that was translated kind of differently that most people are aware of, where he says something in the Japanese version of the game that he hates the killing game more than anything because killing is not fun. And like later when he talks about, I think he talks about, or it's explained in his motivation video, he says his gang had like a strict no killing policy.
Yeah.
So it's implied that he hates the killing game more than anyone else, which he does kind of say in the English version, I think. He says like there's no possible way a game you're forced to play can be any fun or something. Which kind of loses the original intent.
I don't know.
I may be wrong though.
He was like always the one having the most fun in the trials.
That
was kind of
the point. I don't know if that's what was happening. I think he was quite miserable.
I don't know. Honestly, like
it was method to his madness.
He was lying the whole time actually.
He had to lie to himself to stay alive. Yeah. He had to trick himself into pretending like he likes the game.
Mm-hmm. I think, like, he's really well written, but he's probably the single character that annoyed me the most throughout the game.
I don't really get why.
Because everything he does is just to slight everyone, and like all of his actions are just
different than Nagito.
Yeah, Nagito's also really annoying.
But you love Nagito.
I don't.
What?
I like him as a character. Like I think he's well written. But in the game, Like, I don't know, he's a good villain. He's a good,
I
like,
was never annoyed by either of them at any
yeah.
point.
I know you
I was
really
annoyed
like both of
by
them.
Nagito sometimes just being a little too
Insane.
depressing. Just like being like, he's like, man, my life sucks. I can't do anything. And he goes to prove that he can do just about anything.
Yeah.
And that he's like low key one of
Kill
the smartest
himself
ones there.
in the most elaborate manner.
I do prefer Kokichi's way about going about doing it. But the games
Mhm.
are like towards the end they're quite similar. You have the big old suicide murder thing.
Yeah.
Just sort of that's where generally most of the complaints come from. They're like it's
It's the
V3 is a bit
same.
too formulaic, I guess.
It's like
But I
poetry. It
think
rhymes.
all right, George.
I've
I
always
just
liked
think
that about
I
Danganronpa,
always
though.
wonder if Danganronpa V3 was the second game to come out, and then if 2 came out after V3, like exactly the way they are, with slight revisions because they do say multiple times, like they'd have to change the title because V3 is the
Yeah.
third game.
Uh-huh.
If
V2.
people would be just as pissed about the ending for 2, I think
I
most
don't
people
think
don't like
so.
it
Because 2
it's
is
the
still
one they
in
played
the
after.
because 2 is still in the world of the game and you have Naegi come
So
back and
is
stuff.
V3.
Yeah, but it's it's also not because it's
Yeah, it
really
is.
fucking convoluted. Cuz like
It's like
they say that it's
the in-universe organization Team Danganronpa was kidnapping high school students and
yeah,
erasing
but
their memories and forcing them to participate in this weird
yeah, but
dystopian TV program,
that wasn't the
live
explanation
action
for
thing.
that wasn't them explaining the first two. The first two in that universe were literally video games like they are in
No,
real
they were
life.
actors.
No, that's what they said. They said it started out as games and anime and then it became the ultimate real fiction.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah, so
still,
like in the context of that world,
still
there's
the
no Naegi,
explanation
there's no
applies
nothing,
like
there's no future foundation.
like the other ones, like the 50-second killing game with whatever happened there with Round to Row.
Yeah, I mean those were also, yeah,
I don't know how
ultimate
long
real
the
fiction.
organization Team Danganronpa had been around doing what
Yeah,
they're doing.
I would assume that it started after the 3 anime. I'd assume that was the
But
idea.
I don't think it would be very fulfilling though if you're like an actor, for example, and you do like Harrison Ford's a good example because he was Indiana Jones and Han Solo, and that's kind of what he's known for now. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna make another Indiana Jones movie. You gotta be in it because you're Indiana
Uh,
Jones." And he's like, "I don't want to be Indiana Jones anymore." And they're like, "Hey, we're gonna make
is that
another
the
Blade Runner
survivor
movie."
perk?
No, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna make another Blade Runner movie. You gotta be in it." He's like, "I don't want to be the Blade Runner man anymore." And then like, "We gotta make another Star Wars movie. You gotta be in this one." He's like, "I don't want to. You gotta kill me in this one." So like,
They just keep doing killing
it's
games
just
and they're just
not
like, all right, now I
fulfilling
have
to
to die.
continue. What I'm getting at is, I don't think it's just very fulfilling to continue to do the same thing over
Yeah,
and over again.
it's
That's
not.
exactly why Kodaka left because he didn't want
Yeah, I mean,
that.
but like with that, it's I do think that V3 is a really great game and it does a lot of really good stuff, but I honestly wouldn't be upset if the series ended with 2, like, and there wasn't
He
anything
did
after
have
that.
a very good ending,
Yeah,
but
like two's ending was so conclusive, and that's why it's my favorite ending.
I like
Um,
V3 because of how generally disconnected it is from everything else, aside from like the
yeah,
end of course. Like
yeah. I mean,
when I
it was a cool spin
played
on it.
when I played it originally and I got the ending and I was upset about it because I was like, oh, everything doesn't mean anything. I got it. Then I just generally weighed how much fun I was having over the course of it, and in my case, the good exponentially outweighed the bad. And
Yeah,
over
I mean,
time, for
I
whatever reason,
I
my opinion on the ending just completely changed.
I do think that the good outweighs the bad, but I don't like the ending.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Uh,
Was it a
but
mind fuck though? Was it just like, what?
no,
How do
because I
you
had already
think to
seen it
write
before. Even though this came out before that Dragon Quest movie, I was like,
that?
oh,
Yeah.
it's the same thing they did in the Dragon Quest movie.
Maybe you shouldn't have seen that movie then.
Oh. So would you say that V3 is your favorite ending to any of the games, or?
Well, I mean, it's overall my favorite of the games.
Mm-hmm. I think it definitely has the most refined mechanics, but we'll talk
I
about
do
that
love
after.
the new engine and like how it has the multiple characters
Yes.
on the screen.
Oh yes, that was always
Has
great.
a tad bit less of the visual novel presentation.
I love how
It's
clean
on
and
an
HD it
next-gen
is
system.
as compared
Seriously,
to
yeah.
the fucking like
I love all the
Vita
neat
games.
HUDs and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, definitely.
If you beat the Death Road of Despair early on, I think it's on hard mode, you unlock a really, really cool theme
Oh,
for
that's
it.
cool.
Yeah,
So,
it's like
would you say that V3 is your favorite ending, or do you
it's.
prefer one
I
over
think
it?
I like the ending to V3 the most. It just
Mm-hmm.
spoke to me way more than like it's close, but it like what I said before about the whole fiction being meaningful thing.
Yeah,
That in particular really stuck with me.
yeah. I think that's like that is an amazing message, like
Hmm.
for anything. And I think they really did it a good job with it in the Dragon Quest movie.
And then, of
But
course, followed by two.
yeah, I just think in
The sheer
V3,
confusion of the characters and Jungkook being fucking modeled
oh
in
yeah,
3D. That
oh
really
yeah, Junko being huge,
what?
she's like the raid boss.
Modeled in 3D now?
Yeah, it's like whoa, technology, 2012.
I do, but like my only complaint for V3, this is like just minor though. I do wish it wasn't Junko again. I mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't, but I just wish it was Tsumugi maybe just obsessed with the series and just
yeah. I mean that's
wanted to
basically what it
recreate that.
was.
Why did she have to have an alter ego?
I mean her alter. I
Hiroshima
mean
the 53rd? Come on.
yeah. I mean, I think that was the thing, because that was like more of hammering in of like the tired tropes. It was just like they all kept using Junko, because that was also like Kodaka had
I knew
previously
it was
stated
probably
that
going to end that way because I was like,
yeah,
that's how the first two games ended. That's how
yeah,
like, the three anime ended.
because Kodaka said that he couldn't come up with a better villain than Junko, so he used her again.
I wonder if he came up with like a completely new villain, if people would be like, how bad it would be.
I
I
don't
don't know how
know.
much faith I have in him to write a new character for that. Just kind
Yeah,
of the
it's
face of the series, I guess.
almost yeah.
Like,
She is one of the most recognizable and one of the most cosplayed
what's
characters.
Can we talk about how confusing the existence of Monokuma is?
Yeah, it's
Is
like
he controlled by
the
Junko? Is
controlled,
he
not maybe
sentient? Is
not
he a
controlled
robot? Is he an
robot
alien? Is he a video game?
who can be birthed by mother brain.
He can be. Can he die?
I don't think he can die. Also, yeah, I did appreciate the
They had
Metroid
to
reference with
his massive army.
yeah. I did enjoy Mother Brain showing up. That was pretty sick.
That was funny. She's just hanging out there.
Yeah. And then that does lead to the big twist of like everyone else said give birth, but then Sugumi didn't. They were like, "Oh fuck,
Oh,
you
snap!
didn't do the thing."
She never said the thing. It was also kind of funny how it was foreshadowed quite early that she had the Cospox thing. When she
Yeah.
did come back, you were like, wait a second, it can't be her because she has a cosplay problem.
Yeah. Did they explain that? I don't think they explained
They
why
did.
she
They
didn't.
said she can't be real people, and the cast of V3 are
Oh.
real people, just like their memories have been
Uh-huh.
messed up. But
Yeah.
since the first two characters in the first two games
So
are
then, does that
human
basically confirm
characters,
that it was all fiction?
the fuck if I know.
Because then I don't
First two ones are,
like the
and
only
the three
way
anime. I think
if I don't
from
know
like 4 to 53. That's a weird sentence. Onward, that's when it became all
the ultimate real fiction.
something like that.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's just like
I really do not like that
fun of
plot twist.
reality TV and stuff, I guess.
It's
I don't know.
reality TV.
It was a lot to take in.
Uh-huh.
Interesting that you didn't like it, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. I highly doubt that my opinion will change that much.
Yeah, I
But,
don't think
mean,
it probably will either.
it will be interesting to see how
Who
it
knows?
does change.
Yeah.
Um. All right, so
What's the next topic?
I feel like I had something at some point, but let's do favorite character in all three games. So let's start with one. Let's
Would it
kick
more
it.
sense just do? Are we doing favorite character overall or favorite character per game?
Favorite character per game.
Okay, I much prefer that.
Yeah. So, do you want to go from V3 onward or from 1 to V3?
I think it'd make more sense to start from the first one.
Uh-huh.
First one, 2, probably not another episode. I don't really need to talk about that.
Yeah. I do have a favorite character from the anime that was like only in the anime.
I barely
Right.
remember some. They were
Yeah.
so forgettable.
There was at least 3 good
There's
ones.
the
I
guy
think-
with the cow mask who died
Oh
instantly.
yeah.
He was like
Didn't-
hung on the ceiling, I guess.
Yeah, that was weird. I
What
don't really
happened?
remember him that much.
He had a cow mask.
Yeah, he carried Naegi around like once. It was
He
great.
did. He was a cool guy. I guess we're starting with the future arc. Unless you want to go straight to the first one. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're-
let's just start with the first game.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
I'm still trying to think. I mean,
I have a very definitive answer for the first one.
I guess I like Naegi a lot as a protagonist, but I don't think I would say he's my
Agreed.
favorite character, but I do like him a lot. I think
Such a nerd.
he probably changed the most out of everyone.
Oh yeah, he really
Um,
goes through quite the arc
Yeah.
in 3 and another
gets
episode in
good.
2. He does.
Uh-huh.
He was quite a good I mean, he doesn't have too much of a personality in the first one.
Yeah,
I
because
think you're
like
most
the idea is he literally starts out as just like the audience surrogate, the
Yeah.
blank slate, and then.
But he uses Fortune. He uses that site.
he uses 4chan.
He does
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Yeah, that I always like that reference.
So we can confirm he's probably a memer.
Yes.
He
says
knows all the
based
hip
a lot.
lingo. No, he doesn't.
He's
That's
not
from
cool
like
enough.
2010.
They used based. I know they used based in 2013.
Not in 2010.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. But.
So he's your favorite for the first one?
I want to say Asahina, because
Really?
she's just a lot of fun.
Swimmy Neutron?
Why swimming neutron? Why Neutron?
That's what she looks like.
She looks like Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, and she's a swimmer, Swimmy Neutron.
What? Is it because of her hair?
Yeah! And the red jacket.
I mean, I guess he wore red.
Have you seen Jimmy Neutron?
Oh yeah, her hair does the. Her hair like does the curl. I haven't. Let me go look up a picture of Jimmy Neutron to refresh my memory.
Swimmy Neutron.
Why?
You're
This
welcome.
is terrible. It's just it's eerily similar.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I don't know. I'm just gonna put Asahina down as my definitive answer. She's great. She's buff. She
Yeah.
helped. She helped sometimes. She had
She
had
die.
a really good CG. Yeah, she didn't die.
Was she in Future Arc? I think she was like
Yeah,
outside.
she is.
Oh, she was inside. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was carrying Makoto.
Mhm.
She was like,
She's buff as fuck.
she kind of is.
My favorite character trait. All right, so who was your favorite in the
Kyoko.
first game? Kyoko. Yeah,
Yoko, easy.
Such a good answer.
I like the ambiguity of they're like, can we trust her? Harvey Dent, can we trust him?
Can we just? Yeah, she's just.
She becomes ramen girl for a bit.
Oh yeah, I almost bought a figure of
She's
that,
like,
but
Makoto is so forgiving. She sentenced him to die in his place.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's Coolio, MBD.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
Not
I
even a
only
problem.
nearly got killed by a press.
Mhm.
Why was there a trapdoor there anyway?
I don't know. So that he could not die.
Convenient,
Specifically for that reason.
I guess. I did find it really lazy, but also it like makes sense in like the lore. I think that when you get the bad ending, when Kyoko dies, it's literally the exact same execution as Naegi.
Yeah, well, I always liked that because I don't know, because then they're kind of parallels.
Trying to rush the trial, but like it was probably more of a time constraint in development more than anything. They're like,
possibly. I mean,
we're just gonna replace Naegi with Kyoko.
Yeah, the first one.
That's that.
The first one is a lot more like low budget and experimental than the other ones.
Still very charming though. I love that.
Definitely. I mean, it is charming because of that.
I do think of it less though, because like
because it's like setting the groundwork before
yeah.
like the other games really went
so
places
when I
with
think
the
of Danganronpa, generally my mind goes to 2 first and then 3 now. Because I mean, I played 2 before I did V3. And
before V3 even
that
came
just
out.
blew me away. I was like, what?
Yeah.
This game's like really good.
Super Danganronpa 2 remains to be one of my favorite games of all time.
Definitely. That's what we're going to continue to call it.
Yes,
SDR2.
we will. It's the real title.
Should we discuss how we don't like most of the translations for the titles?
Yeah, because the Japanese titles are better. They're just better.
They make more sense.
They're all better, especially the everyone's killing game. Like New Danganronpa.
Killing in harmony.
Killing harmony.
Is it because
I always just thought it was
protagonist times 2? Kaede is a music person.
Yes, I always thought it was just like Kaede is music. Kaede played music, therefore music word.
And it's also new. Why did they remove the new part?
Yeah, I don't know. That adds to how you're supposed to think of it as disconnected from the other two.
It kind of gives me the same vibe as when Nintendo is making the new Super Mario Brothers. And they're like, we have 1 billion Mario games. What do we call these ones? New Super Mario Brothers.
Got it. Print it right now. Make millions.
Maybe we should make them good.
Yeah.
No. We already shipped the entire game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's also the thing I like about Super Danganronpa 2 is how it's like every game on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Even they're like menus. They were quite pixelated. And
yeah. Because it was a game the whole time. Oh shit.
This was around with the first one though. They had on the dorms. They had the little sprites of the characters.
Yeah, I always liked those.
Like that, yeah.
All right, so I think it's pretty obvious who my favorite character in 2 is.
Say it.
It's Nanami Chiaki. Everyone's favorite waifu.
Yeah, how can you not say?
Yeah, I mean she's just the best.
Yeah.
And like she's even canonically not real.
Get her like squared.
Wait, what?
She's not real, but she's also not real. And also real.
Yeah.
Because she was like a person.
She was a person and then she died. And then she was fake.
In the game. And then the game, because we the audience are playing a game, Inception.
Holy shit. Yeah, it was badass. I really love the plot twist of not only her dying, because that was just completely unexpected for me. I never even considered that was a thing that could happen.
There's never really a point where the characters needed to warm up to her either. They're all like, we trust her.
Yeah.
But she's kind of stupid.
She's kind of stupid.
They made fun of her in the trials because she would like
fall asleep.
say something really intelligent and not know how to follow it up.
Uh-huh.
I can't think of any examples.
Yeah, I think I remember something like that.
She would just like be like, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know. I always loved her. I thought she was super cute.
Yeah.
There's the obvious, but who cares?
The what?
Gamer.
Oh yeah. Had to say it.
Yeah, we had to say it.
I mean,
yeah.
then it would be so.
Just what's up?
Aside from Chiaki, then it would be followed by Nagito too. He's just chaos. He kind of is like the staple for how the antagonists act in the series now. They're like have the one amongst them, because Byakuya was like he's kind of against people, but he was just kind of doing it because he was bored.
Yeah, but then he always sided with Nagi in the end. He was just like, "Tell him, Nagi."
Like I'm gonna mess with the crime scene, and then I'm gonna make Makoto figure out the case.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like
it's just like I know
I
everything.
warmed up to him so much over the years.
Byakuya?
Yeah.
Totally. I hated him at first. I was like, "Stop insulting me!"
I love characters like that now. I just love like fucking bastards like Gilgamesh.
I'm still not a big fan.
They did reference Gilgamesh in V3.
Of course they did. There was like an ungodly amount of references in V3. They had a reference to Godfather of all things.
Jeez. There was a Doraemon reference near the end. And then like Monokuma, who's like
became a yokai.
Oh, he did the yokai watch thing?
He did.
he looked like Jibanyan.
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
Why can't he do that?
He was just referencing yokai watch.
So like canonically, is he like a shapeshifter? Because remember in 2 he says he can stretch his body really far.
He did say that. And he also becomes buff in the last trial. He said, "Sometimes I look like this," and he was super buff. I don't know.
He became a yokai man as well.
I don't know. He's just a non-entity. So like
yeah.
Naegi is also really cool of him being like an antithesis or a like different spin on, or Nagito rather, being a different spin on Nagi. That was always cool. I always liked how they had the same voice.
Although usually that kind of annoys me when they're like, "Oh, he's the evil version of the good guy."
Darkiplier.
It's like, who are you? Who wrote this? Me when I was 8?
Yeah. Honestly, I still like that trope. I think originally I thought that
it's a good idea. It's just so done to death.
Yeah, it is. I think I originally thought that Naegi or that Nagito might be Naegi, but like after being fucked up,
trying to trick everyone. I kind of think that would have been a cool direction to go in, but still, that'd be way too predictable.
Yeah. I like that he wakes you up and it became a meme.
He was so chill at first. He was just like, he would sometimes say concerning things like, but they're like, "It's beach time. Hang out, Beach Boys."
Beach Boys, bringing it back to 1996.
Who's gonna get that reference?
No.
No.
And we're not gonna explain it until like a while.
Never explaining.
So yeah. So let me get my thoughts on track. Truly the most big brain series. I must raise my IQ to talk about it.
Pull up the document again for the questions.
Okay. Wait, we're not even done. Alright, so I guess moving on to V3. My favorite character in V3 is definitely Maki.
Totally.
Yeah.
Maki was so cool.
She is so good.
Did you like her initially?
Like initially I couldn't really get a good read on her. I just didn't really know
Yeah, I was like, why?
what
Who
she
is
was
she?
doing.
Why is she so angry?
She's the ultimate child caregiver.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I always thought that name was really weird. It's like, why isn't
That
she just the
is
ultimate babysitter?
that is that just like bad translation?
I don't
Something?
know.
Is that like a joke or pun I'm not getting?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's just them being weird.
Yeah, that doesn't. I've literally never heard anyone say that term ever.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I like the reveal that she was actually the ultimate assassin.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, just
She
the
like
idea of that.
strangles Kokichi.
What's up?
Wasn't it revealed when she was strangling Kokichi?
Maybe. But I
Like
do
outside
love
the
that. I
dialogue.
do love that shot. That's one of my favorites.
Totally.
I also love when she's pointing the
Killing
crossbow
me.
at Kokichi.
Like,
That's
killing me
badass.
won't be any problem for you, isn't that right, Miss Ultimate Assassin?
So cool. She's
Paraphrase.
like,
I can't remember.
she's all at once just like the most capable, the most badass, and she also has like such a
Kind of
soft side
emotional.
with Kaito.
Yeah. She was like, I'm gonna fuck Kokichi up. I'm gonna shoot him.
Yeah, that
dead.
was awesome.
Then Kaito took a bullet for him. Why
Yeah.
would you do
That
that?
was crazy. He was
Kaito.
poisoned by her arrow, and she was overcome with guilt. There was so much drama.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
we did
second
already.
character in V3, I guess.
What's up?
Second favorite V3 character.
I guess Himiko now.
That high?
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
It's
probably
really-
Kaito. I mean, I like Himiko a lot now. Especially after you made the Megumin comparison. I always thought it'd be really funny if like, what if Himiko was actually a mage the whole time? So like at the end, she just kind of like snaps her fingers and a little fireball comes out.
That would have been so funny.
That would have been the best. That would have been the best plot twist in the series.
That they should have ended the trial with like Tsumugi reveals that she's Junko Enoshima the 53rd, then Himiko summons a firebolt, killing her instantly.
And then the game just ends. That'd be awesome. Honestly, I'd just be super down with that, and then like all the other characters are just bewildered, and the game ends.
Or she does like a Hunter x Hunter Bisky transformation and just pummels her to death
That would be awesome.
with her fist.
I would be all for that. That would probably make her my favorite character. If she got buff.
She's totally still capable of that. We all know that.
She's
I
what?
still find she's totally still capable of doing that. We all know this.
Yes, yeah.
I still find it
It's canon.
infinitely hilarious for like absolutely zero reason that she's the ultimate magician but refuses to be called that. She's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm the ultimate mage.
Yeah, I love that. It's such an on-brand detail. Like it's
Totally.
something that Danganronpa would just totally do. Like
This
if
is
it
a-
wasn't there, it would feel weird.
Yeah, this is I think the V3 is the only one, not counting the three anime as canon, where
Mhm.
almost all of my favorite characters survived.
Yeah. I mean,
Kaede died and Kaito.
you mean all
And
your favorite
everyone-
characters didn't survive?
I mean, they did
Didn't-
survive. Shuichi, Maki, and Himiko.
Oh, well, yeah. But
Kaito-
died.
And Kaede were the only ones I was like really, really upset about that died. And
Yeah.
I think everyone knew Kokichi was gonna die at some.
Same. I really wanted Kokichi to die.
You
I
gotta
like
hold it off to the end.
I really hated him until like the very end, and I was like, I can see where he was coming from.
Yeah. He's quite a very weird character. Lots of moral.
He's a
and
little asshole. He's a little bastard.
he is. He's like
He's
apparently
like 4 foot.
It's really hard though.
Uh-huh.
Like punches Kaito in the chest because
Oh yeah.
Was Kaito going to strike him, then he dodged and then punched him in the chest?
Yeah, because he was too weak, because he was being overtaken by his illness. And then Maki was, of course, like, super concerned. And it was great.
I did like the mini plot of Kaito kind of dying the entire time.
Yeah.
And it was just to have... to know that he actually was in space.
Yes, yeah.
It was like, oh, he did it!
He achieved his dream! Yeah, just, like, having such a hope-filled character have a fate like that.
To a run for his money, talking about hope.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he has absolutely nothing to back up what he says. He's just like, no, it couldn't have been Maki. It's just not possible.
Yeah, I just...
You're like, what's your evidence? He's like, oh, I just feel it, you know?
I've heard other people, like, having problems with that, but
what?
I love that so much.
Charismatic for me to hate him.
Yeah, he is. He's just... He helps Shuichi get out of his depression when Kaede dies. He was there for him.
He was
the bros.
He's like, it's workout time. Let's go.
Yeah. And then just
such a highlight.
Oh my god, it was so great. Every time he's on screen, he steals the show.
Seriously, the workout scenes are also quite what escalated my.
Yeah, they're awesome.
For that game, they were just like, man. Because
this is some dude bro energy that I love.
Right? It's just him and Shuichi at first, right?
Yeah, and then Maki joins.
Then Maki joins, and Shuichi's kind of weak and slow, and then Maki's like...
Yeah, Maki's just like doing like 300 push-ups in a second.
He's just lying down, his back gazing at the stars.
Yeah, he's just like, man, the stars, bro. They just...
What a guy.
Yeah, they formed such a great trio, which I'm so glad that happened, because I was always...
I didn't expect that. I had, like, really... I thought Kaito would die, like, immediately upon seeing him.
Yeah, I knew a lot of people think that as well.
He's not passing the first 2 chapters. Makes it to the very end.
I never made any predictions on, like, who would die or not. Like, I can't remember thinking about it.
Like, he wasn't very prominent in the first...
I feel like I knew Tenko was gonna die because everyone wanted her to die, because everyone was so annoyed with her personality.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about?
So like I was so glad they had them as a trio, because I was always under the impression that Hajime, Chiaki, and Nagito were gonna form like a trio and be friends, but then they never did.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah.
I always assumed that like the cast of 2 still thinks of Nagito as their friend, but like in a very...
I thought Nagito was gonna be cooler for longer, but he went insane very fast.
I liked that though. They were just like, let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah,
He's trying to murder someone.
It was a good twist, and then they fucking tied him up and threw him in the kitchen or like the dining hall. That was great.
I think V3 probably had the best English voice acting too. Like, all the scenes made so powerful because of it.
Definitely. Especially, like, Maki's voice actress was fantastic. That was probably one of the best.
That was Erica Mendez, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Seriously, she was so good.
I know. She's really good in a lot of things, but she was, like, especially good in
That's
V3.
Probably my favorite role of hers, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think, just, like, everything together.
She's quite good as Megumi, but I still prefer
I like Megumi, I like Raftalia, I like Ryuko, but I think Maki's probably my favorite.
Maki's such a good character.
Yeah.
I didn't say it before, but I do still prefer Maki over Chiaki.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, like, because Chiaki's not really real. I mean... That's kind of the point, and I do like that fact about her. So in that sense, despite V3's wacky woo-woo twist at the end, Maki was a more realistic character in that sense. So
totally.
Yeah, I like her more in that sense, I guess.
Very solid series of games.
Yeah.
Great trilogy. So,
Um,
favorite games.
favorite game.
I think we know what
Yeah.
mine is. I think we know what
Yeah.
yours
We already
is.
said yours is V3.
Yeah,
And
yours too.
yeah, I already said mine's too. Yeah, we already went over that. Yeah, definitely. All
Um,
right. Favorite
favorite
trial.
trial.
I think we should
God.
go game by game.
Okay. Let me think.
I do have an answer already for the first one. My favorite trial in the first one is definitely Trial 4, which was Sakura's trial, because there was like multiple characters that thought they were the killer, and it just like it was one of those trials where I think that was past the point where I was spoiled on the game because I had seen like the first anime
Mhm.
a while before I played the first game, so I knew up to like Celeste. Then after that, I was just completely in the dark about what happened next. So it was really fun doing it blind, and that whole trial was just wild. I think that's when the Hagakure burger thing happens.
Oh, when he's the UFO.
Yeah, the UFO shows up and steals his burger.
Okay. I guess aliens exist in this universe too now. You can add that in.
Yeah, maybe.
This is like surprisingly complicated.
Yeah.
That whole story. Don't even get started on the chronology of them. I don't even know
Especially factoring V3's ending.
Well, that one I think is the most recent, like taking place farthest from all of them.
Yeah.
Considering it's the 53rd game.
Yeah, but that's not even. We don't even know if that's true.
I think it's basically
Tsumugi could have
confirmed.
been lying the whole time.
Who even
The plot
knows?
was so stupid.
Moving on.
Yeah. Yeah, I just really thought it was interesting that they had Sakura commit suicide because that just
Was
Danganronpa does this a lot throughout the whole series. It's just like they introduce the trial structure and like the initial chapter structure in the first game, and then throughout the entire series, they're always trying to find a new spin on it and trying to play with it and see what they can do with it. And that was definitely one of the more basic but also a really interesting thing to do with it that led to just a really compelling trial.
it was quite sad.
Yeah, it was definitely. Even
And
though
Monokuma.
I didn't really hang out with Sakura that much, and
I don't think I did
she
initially
wasn't
either.
she wasn't like as prevalent as the other characters in that
No,
game.
not until towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought she would kill anyone, though. I was like, she's too big. She's probably not going to kill anyone.
Yeah.
I loved Sakura's character, though.
Yeah. All right. See.
And
Do you have
Monokuma was an
do you have a
asshole
favorite?
for the trial.
What's up?
Monokuma was kind of an asshole because he forged her will for the trial.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then
Yeah,
afterwards he
that was
read
pretty
one
fucked up.
in like an impression. I'm split on two of them.
All right, which two?
I really like the first one, actually.
Definitely.
Probably more for like nostalgic factors, but
It's such a
I
good
just like the
introduction.
whole pacing of it and the introduction to the series. And
Yeah, and just that.
set up all the mechanics and the first experience with the trial and how crazy and fast paced it was.
High speed reasoning action.
And the other one I'm debating against is the false trial for the murder of Mukuro Ikusawa.
Oh yeah, that was
Really,
cool.
really like that one.
I love when you like find the body in the
Really,
garden.
really cracked under pressure. Yeah, and the fucking body explodes.
Yeah, because I was like, oh well, the body's there. We're just gonna take the mask off and find out who it is. It's not like it's gonna explode or anything, and then it fucking did.
Oh.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one, I always loved how Mizuno was the victim, but her plan was to kill Leon to then frame Naegi.
I like how just double-sided everyone in the first case was.
Yeah.
I think in the manga, if I recall correctly, Leon was trying to calm Sayaka down, and he only killed her in self-defense.
Jeez, like they show it? They show...
Yeah.
Damn. That
was
manga
like,
is really weird. It's like based on the anime. It's
yeah,
called
like,
Danganronpa the animation.
That's
I don't know
weird.
why they did that. Pretty dumb.
He was like, Sayaka's upset. I'm gonna go calm her down. Then she like tries to murder him by stabbing him with a sword, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here."
Can't have none of that.
Although it's still, he did kind of go out of his way to end up killing her because he had to go to his room to get the tools and stuff. Remember?
Kind of. I very vaguely remember that.
Against it because Makoto and Sayaka switched rooms. Leon thought he was in the girls' room, and they wouldn't have had the toolkits that they gave all the boys. They had the sewing kits in there. So he had to go to his room, get his toolkit, come back, and break down the door. And then they were like, "Well, if it's not you, then show us your toolkit."
It's like, fuck.
Like, shit. When, like, if he didn't have the murderous intent after she locked herself in the bathroom, he could have just returned to his room and just been like, "Man, what a night that was."
What an adventure.
I don't know.
So,
I do love Leon, though.
Yeah, Leon
was like
definitely a very good character for how little screen time he got.
Yeah, he's like quite a fan favorite.
I mean, he has a really good story of how like he was the baseball star, but he really wanted to do music.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
No, and his execution was it's just just another reason it's the perfect introduction. Just like
all the layers of deceit and confusion. That was like also considering the massive rehaul the game had during development.
Oh yeah,
Kyoko was supposed to have been the first one killed. I'm not sure how much that would have had on the story, though.
That would be a completely different story.
Yeah.
Because, like, she's so integral to all the stuff. Yeah. Like, she is the detective.
It's subject to change, but for now I'm going to say my favorite chapter/trial first game. It's the first one.
Do you have any for 2? Because...
Do you have one?
I feel like I don't remember specifics of most of them, but they were all very good. I
go
think
through them.
I like Nagito's trial a lot. Yeah, I'd probably say Nagito's trial is my favorite because it has the biggest twist as Chiaki being the blackened. And we pretty much already talked about that.
But I think I have to agree with that.
How insane Nagito's suicide was, and how Chiaki died on a technicality, basically.
Yeah, how he literally tricked someone into murdering him.
Yeah, that is like the most galaxy-brained, just in-character shit for him.
Big brain.
He is the biggest brain character in the series.
He wanted Chiaki specifically to die too, right? So he used his luck to just assume she would be the one to pick up the canister that had the...
I don't really remember, but I think you're right.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. Did he do that to, like, get at Nagito, or just because he wanted her dead?
I mean,
to get at
he did it to fuck
Hajime.
With Hajime, Monokuma, and I think he did it to fuck with Chiaki because he hated that she wasn't actually real, so he had the least problems killing her.
Damn.
I think.
Yeah, I remember like seeing her execution. It was like 3 a.m. I was just like, how could you do this? How could you kill my favorite character? And then, like, right after that, you walk out of the house, and then she shows up again. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Chaos.
I honestly didn't catch that she was an AI until, like, way later.
Oh, yeah. That was really spooky.
It really added to the effect of just, like, you can't have her.
But when it comes,
you can't save her.
It comes to I think we agree with the chapter/trial that we think was the best one.
Yeah. The first one was also very good. I like that one.
Oh, very.
Yeah. Especially when Nagito goes insane out of nowhere.
It does. I actually really like the one prior to Nagito's. When Nekomaru. Yeah.
I don't remember all that much from that one.
That one was like...
I think I might have done it on a plane.
I was able to, like... I just went into it. Like, I was like, I'm gonna do an experiment and go into this assuming that this person is the killer. And I was right for some reason. Just my pure luck skills. I guess Nagito rubbed off on me. I don't know what the hell that's about. I used my luck to I was like, who is it most likely not? It's probably not Tanaka, so it probably is him. That was my reasoning, and then it was. But I've heard people have a lot of trouble with that case, because it was like the method that he used for all of that.
I remember it being really weird.
This is kind of a longer one too, if I recall, because it had to take into account not just the scene of the crime, but like the entire building, and then the structure, shape of the building.
Because like that whole chapter is like setting
how
it
the
up.
Elevators functioned.
Yeah.
And
it's its own little world. That was very cool how they did that. Although I think that is the point in the game where it drags the most.
Yeah, it does kind of drag a bit, but they're kind of starving to death and sad.
Yeah. Kind of the low point.
Yeah.
Alright, so V3. The big, long, 4-hour trials.
The last one was 4 hours?
Yeah, it was like 3 hours and 50 minutes. It was insanely long. I think the last trial in the first game might also be a similar length. I remember it being like really long.
I can't remember. I remember V3's being longer, but I don't remember them being that long. But I've also played it quite a lot, so I can speed through most of them.
Let's see.
Well, of course. I generally like... I haven't had any problems with the first cases. I really like the first case, chapter, trial, whatever you want to call it, in V3.
Yeah. Would you say that's your favorite?
No, I think my favorite, I think we talked about this a little earlier, is probably the one where Kokichi kills himself.
Yeah. There was a lot of good stuff in that trial.
There sure was. I liked all the trials, though, in V3. My least favorite probably being the second one.
Yeah, that just has it has the least interesting characters as the victim and the...
I did like Ryoma a lot, but he like... I didn't have enough time to be attached to him.
Yeah, I never really cared about him that much.
And Kirumi, like, kind of a wasted opportunity for a character. I think she shouldn't have been, like, an emotionless character. She should have been, like, charismatic.
More like, how can I help you?
Like, she's kind of a robot.
Yeah, I like really didn't care about anything she did ever.
When she died, she kind of has one of the most brutal deaths.
Yeah, she really does.
Yeah, V3's executions were probably the most violent of the 3 games.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they're my favorite.
Same.
So
we.
I think
I didn't say your favorite one for V3.
No.
No. What was it?
I think it's the first one.
Oh yeah.
That one just It flipped the script and it taught you all the new mechanics, which were cool.
I liked
I
the
definitely
idea
like the
of
lie mechanic.
trying to find the mastermind immediately.
Yeah, yeah. And just
Or,
the
like,
fact that it
right
almost
here.
worked.
Close.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Close.
I liked playing as Kaede. I really like the switch moment where you start playing as Shuichi and you just like, cause like you start to think like, maybe I might be playing as the killer, and then you have that switch moment, and then you have that realization. You're like, oh shit, I
It's
have
still
to
sad.
I have to do what I never wanted to do.
It's even more sad when you take into consideration that she didn't even succeed
Yep.
and was kind of murdered for just so the audience could be entertained.
Yeah.
Although that part probably pisses you off.
I think I kind of like that part, but I do have to say the last trial is my least favorite.
For any of the games?
Probably.
Damn.
It was the one that I cared the least in. At least for half of it.
Most of the characters you cared about were killed off.
Yeah.
You're sad Kaito died, you were like, oh.
Yeah. I knew Maki wasn't gonna die.
I would have been livid if Maki died.
Yeah.
You cannot rob me of best girl in V3. I will not put up with this. I put up with it in 2. You do it to me again.
Yeah. Fool me once. I think I mean I did appreciate that, the characters that lived at the end. If they all
Very
died,
so. They did,
I would have just hated
you
it.
saw the Shawshank Redemption recently, right?
Yes, I did.
I kind of got similar vibes to like parts of the Shawshank Redemption during that whole part, because they're like, Shawshank Redemption is all about finding hope in the darkest of places. Especially even when he gets out, because he's still kind of on the run.
Yeah.
So he gets his little island or whatever.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what happened in
Mexico.
V3. They were like, man, life sure does suck, but we really...
Truly we were Danganronpa V3.
I don't think any explanation I can give it will do it justice, though.
Yeah, it's really like, it's such an abstract idea that it's almost like you have to have played it to understand it.
Yeah.
Like in any capacity.
However many years in the future, let's say like 6, for argument's sake, if you ever do replay it, I wonder if it'll be any different knowing what's happening.
Maybe. I think I'll just skip more stuff.
Replay.
I think I'll just like skip all the flashback light segments.
I liked those.
Yeah, they were cool. I like the little animation that plays before.
They're kind of forgettable, though. Not a whole lot happens.
Yeah.
Just like
and
meteor.
Especially because it was kind of all fake.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we probably talked enough about the end of V3, because if it's just going to go on forever.
Yes. It's like, that's the thing about V3 is like, I do think that, the rest of the game is still great, but it's that like, while you're playing the game and getting the flashback lights for the first time, you're like, oh, I'm like piecing together this mystery through the flashback lights, but they don't matter. So now I literally don't care about the flashback lights and all the stuff that was revealed in them. It just doesn't, I don't know. I don't care about them anymore. But everything else, like everything that actually happened, was still cool.
Still meaningful.
Yeah.
I mean, like the trials prior to that. What was the next topic?
I think the next one was favorite ending in the series, but I don't know if we already said that. I think we might have.
I think we kind of talked about favorite ending, but we skipped favorite execution.
We did skip favorite execution. What is your favorite execution? I guess we should go by games as well.
Yeah, I kind of prefer doing that, because it's kind of hard to... There's like 15...
I like all of them in the first game.
All of them. The executions, yeah, they're all pretty good. I think the most boring one in the first game is probably Celeste's execution.
She gets fucking run over by a fire truck.
It's
It's badass. It's
eh.
very extra, but it's
I
the
don't know,
least
Alter
creative.
Ego's execution was boring.
What?
Alter Ego, the
Oh
computer.
yeah, just gets like dumpster trucked.
Yeah. Just kind of got smashed.
Yeah.
Your favorite first one? First execution. By far.
I mean, it's such a good one. Like, it introduces, like, along with that chapter and everything, it introduces the concept so well, and it just shows you, like, the...
Oh, they're not just being injected with poison or, like, ejected into space, like in the opening.
Uh-huh.
They get fucking their skulls bashed in if they fail.
Yeah. And it has meaning to their characters and their talents.
They kind of abandoned that with, like, 2, though. They're just like...
I guess. Well, because the first couple executions were not made by Kodaka. That's why they kind of suck.
The writer?
He was the writer, but he didn't do the executions for, like, the first couple trials. I think he did Chiaki's.
What?
And he did all the ones in V3.
That's probably why they suck.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a popular opinion or not, though. I think it probably is.
Yeah, I don't know if there's really much praise for those.
Bad. Boo.
I think so. So the first one in 1 is very good, but I also like Naegi's / Kirigiri's. I just like how it looks. I like the idea of it. It's very much Danganronpa in nature.
About their reproductive system.
Uh-huh.
Before they die. He's like, God, it's time to learn about the birds and the bees, kids. And then you die.
Yeah. Die a virgin, bitch.
That's probably exactly what he was going for.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Alright, so most of the executions in 2 suck, but my favorite one, which we've constantly been mentioning, the most harrowing for me is definitely Chiaki's. I think I already explained why I like it.
Yeah, I love Chiaki's. I actually quite like
Tetris, bro. What's up?
Pekko's was really badass.
Yeah, it was. She fought for her life, dude.
Sure did.
Yeah, and then Kuzuryu got his eye cut out.
Why did they even let him on the stage?
Yeah.
How did he get there?
Yeah. I love all the development that happens with him afterward.
Oh yeah, I really didn't like him prior to that.
Yeah, he was kind of an asshole.
I generally
really cool.
forget about him. Because compared to like, he's not a bad character, but compared to some of the other really good ones, like Chiaki in 2 and Hajime is like one of the greatest protagonists in just any game. In my opinion. Definitely.
He's so good. He goes Super Saiyan at the end, bro.
The weirdest claims of all time.
Yeah.
I kind of forget about him sometimes, but I do like him a lot.
I think out of all of them, I'm the most excited to replay 2.
2 is so fun.
Yeah, it's my favorite setting. Just the tropical setting is so great to me. I love all the events that happen in it. I love that it leans into being like a harem. Like Hajime like accumulates a harem over the game.
In the video game.
Holy shit. It's the Matrix.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and that
Chiaki
like
is the game.
Chiaki is the game.
Has become game.
She become
the real winner.
She's like a One Punch Man villain. She played too many video games, so she became a video game.
Yeah. So best execution in 1 for me. That's the first one. You said you like.
Yeah.
The Makoto / Kyoko one.
Yes.
And for 2, we are agreed that it's also Chiaki.
Yes.
And on the V3.
All right. What is your favorite?
I really like all of them.
Yeah, they are all very good.
The only one I don't really care about is Correcchio's. It's just kind of it's crazy. Yeah. but
it's the least memorable.
It's really, I don't know why.
I think he's the least memorable character in that game, just in general.
He's kind of a weirdo.
Yeah.
I do like his case a lot, though. The entire whole chapter.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
That was like quite
He used
confusing.
the seesaw method.
Who thinks of this shit?
Who would ever think to do the seesaw method?
Someone in front of everyone.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think.
I have one.
What is it?
I think my favorite, like the trial, is the first one. Probably because of the same reasons as the trial. It was so shocking. It was so harrowing. I didn't believe that it was real. Like, it was just so brutal that it almost didn't register at first. I couldn't believe my eyes. And then, like, I believe after that I actually took a break from the game to, like, calm down.
I didn't. I was depressed alongside Shuichi.
Yeah.
It was just like...
Yeah, well, I definitely had that moment, but I think I did take a small break.
Kaito was speaking he didn't feel like he was speaking to Shuichi. It felt like he was speaking directly towards me at points.
Oh, shit.
And I was like...
That's thematic, dude!
I don't know if that was intentional, but that's just kind of how...
I mean, well, holy shit. Is the ending of Danganronpa 3 actually genius now? Okay, so you have, like...
I think so.
So you have the concept of fiction making an impact on reality, and then but throughout the game you have certain things like Kaito's wisdom to the other characters, like Maki's character arc, and like Shuichi's character arc especially.
Oh yeah,
having
Shuichi
that impact
has
and
to be my favorite protagonist.
Yeah. And along with everything Kaede did for Shuichi, just having those messages in the game, and having them so well done as they are, and made to have an effect on the audience, which really did have a real effect on a lot of people. So yeah.
That's exactly how I feel.
Whoa! I still don't like it's still a cop-out, but that's, I don't, like I understand what they were going for, and I do appreciate it. But, I don't know.
It probably could have been executed better.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of...
But I really,
issues there.
Just generally, everything just really spoke to me for whatever reason.
Uh-huh.
Just like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really wish I enjoyed the ending of E3 more, because
like I said, I don't think you'll think of it the same way I do, but I think if you sit on it a bit longer, you'll be able to maybe understand a tad bit more of what they may have gone for.
Yeah. I really liked when at the end it just said Danganronpa with like a completely like uniform logo that wasn't specific to any game, and it just said the end.
Because they make their own story. They make their own game.
Bruh! Yeah, that's just, I don't know, because the concept of a game series ending like that, like, I don't know, the concept of, well, just like the chapter title being like Goodbye Danganronpa, and like that bit at the end, I just love the dedication to ending a series. You know, you have this trilogy, or you know, it's even more than that with the spin-offs, and just being like, okay, this is the last game, and now it's over.
Yeah, if it went on forever, it would have just been like... It's also kind of, I think, what they might have been alluding to when they used the Final Fantasy logo.
Yeah. I feel like too many series either just go on forever, or they get like shanked before they reach their full potential.
Yeah.
Like even Metroid didn't like have its like 10 out of 10 ultra climax game yet.
No,
Which hopefully
I
Prime 4 will be.
don't know if that will happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
I
Prime
don't
4 never
understand
even
the hesitation,
happens.
though. Like, they probably have most of their team... We're talking about Zelda now briefly. They probably have most of their team working on the Breath of the Wild sequel.
Yeah.
But, like, even before the Breath of the Wild stuff, why was there such a massive gap before, like, a mainline Metroid game?
Yeah, like, they made Other M, which was shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand the thought process behind Other M. But we're getting off topic.
I don't like the ones after the SNES one.
What, really?
I don't like the GameCube ones.
Metroid?
No.
You don't like the Prime series?
No.
Have you played them?
A very long time ago, and I really don't think it translates well into first person.
Did you play Zero Mission or Fusion?
I think... which one is that?
Zero Mission is they're both on the GBA. Zero Mission is the remake of the first one.
First or second one on the... Were there two on the GameCube? It was one of the GameCube ones.
It's the first and second Prime games on the GameCube. And then they're all on the Wii.
The first Prime game, which I played, and it was like... It's just... I don't like being restricted like this.
Just like in the first person view.
No.
Yeah, I've never really liked first person views, but...
It's not really...
I'm excited. I'm really excited to play
that series I'm good at.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, I don't know, it being first person is very inconsequential to the gameplay.
Not really, yeah. What were we saying? Best execution? I think I might have an answer for the best execution in the series for me as well. My favorite from V3 is also tied between the first one with Kaede and Kaito's execution.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Kaede's execution was the only one that actually made me cry.
Oh my god.
I was so distraught.
God damn.
She was so sweet.
Yeah, she was
first
great.
they hang her in the sky with like a helicopter and they bring her over to the piano that's spiked and they close it on her.
Yeah, but it's not only that, it's like...
And Mono Kids kicked into it. It was like, what?
Here's the thing I learned about the piano is it actually, like, she's being puppeteered to play a song. But what it is
she was suffocating as well.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Jeez, it's really fucked up. But she's being puppeteered to mess up an extremely easy song.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like insulting her legacy as a pianist.
And Kaito's, because I always thought the execution to Kyoko's father was very underrated.
Yeah.
And I loved the throwback to it.
Yeah.
And I think it was even more badass that Kaito, he was so, like, okay with it.
Yeah.
He
like,
was,
I'm going to space. Like, fuck you.
So hopeful. He's like,
he's the best.
I'm gonna die, but my terminal illness is gonna kill me, not you.
And he dies with a smile on his face. Like a real man!
What a guy.
Like a real Goldie Roger man.
What a guy. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's a One Piece moment.
Yeah, that definitely.
Imagine if he died standing up.
What a badass.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about was there a character that died standing up? But like Sakura did the Ashita no Joe like in the chair head down thing.
She did do that. That was sad.
What's
the worst execution?
Worst in terms of like most horrific or just like...
No, just like the laziest and dumb.
Mikan's? We talk about this a lot.
We do. Have we talked about it on the podcast?
No, I don't think so.
Mikan's execution is like, we have to rant about it now.
It's briefly. So fucking bad.
It's like laziest thing they could have possibly
okay, so like I literally don't remember that much of it, but she gets like shot out on a giant fist. She gets like shot into the stratosphere.
And it had like literally nothing to do with her talent. I think that she was on like a bed at first, or that's what it was supposed to look like. And then Monokuma comes out of nowhere with a syringe and injects it and makes it big. But aside from like the needle,
was there not a giant fist in that?
Yeah, she was on a giant fist.
Huh.
Aside from the
Is that a
needle,
fisting joke?
I don't know. Aside from the needle, had literally nothing to do with her being a nurse, and she could have
Yeah.
possibly still had been alive, like after it ended. After they get out the trial, she's just kind of floating in space, God knows where. So dumb.
Yeah. That's, yeah, probably the worst one. You know, I did like Mikan as a character, for the most part. Like, before the trial.
She kind of... I hate her in in 3.
Oh, yeah, in the anime. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a problem with the first couple episodes of Despair Arc
no,
when it's just being fun.
Episodes kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just like a slice of life.
It's like, I know these people.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Chiaki's playing Smash Brothers with the girls. And then the teacher says, like, oh, do you think people don't like you just because you're a gamer?
The most oppressed minority. They really, like, the main reason I'm so hard on Despair Arc is because I feel like
it's fucking terrible.
Super ruined Hajime specifically.
Oh yeah, like it didn't even like do anything with him. He was just like a depressed boy.
Absolutely no presence.
And he was like, I'm gonna be Mikuru. I'm gonna be fucking what even Izuru Kamakura. He's like, whoop, long hair now. See ya. I don't know. It was dumb.
Like when he got punched in the face by that one guy.
Yeah, by the big buff guy.
He's like, stop being depressed.
Oh yeah, at some point I said I was gonna say my favorite character from the anime.
Oh yeah.
It's
fuck.
Munakata.
Oh, the guy with the sword.
Yeah.
Because he looks like the Persona 4 protagonist.
He does. That's not why I like him. I thought he was a really cool character.
He was so entertaining every time he was on screen, and especially after you find out what his rule was, the restriction.
He can't go through doors, so he just cuts open walls everywhere.
Some anime shit, but there's an actual reason.
Yeah. He has like really badass fights too. He like loses an eye at some point or something. Or either he loses an eye or he cuts someone's eye out. I don't remember what it is.
I like how the future arc killing game is called the final killing game. Ha 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 ha.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, for a period of time, the 3 anime was supposed to be the end of the series, I think.
Oh, that would have been very disappointing. Even though I like future arc.
No, I mean just all of 3: Future Arc, Despair Arc, Hope Arc.
Yeah, it still would be very... Hope Arc... I don't know. Hope Arc is a weird...
Like a robot arm now.
Yeah, Hope Arc is just like a really weird recontextualization of 2's ending.
They're like, don't worry, everyone in another episode is not dead. Yeah. Everyone in 2 is not dead either. Isn't that cool?
I'm like almost okay with that, but still not.
I don't really care as much that they retcon the deaths of the characters in 2. I kind of like that actually. I cannot stand that they retcon the deaths from another episode. It just makes most of it feel pointless.
Yeah, definitely.
Another episode's such a mixed bag the more I think about it.
Yeah, I'm interested to play it. I'll definitely play that at some point.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
It's a game.
I hate the ending to it. It's,
I'll have to see it.
A really dumb final boss.
I
don't like it. I don't like the way it looks I think it really takes away from the aesthetic with the 3D models, which, I mean, there was no other possible way you could have done that for, like, a game like that.
Yeah. I mean, and it was their first attempt at it, so, I mean, even they themselves said it was, like,
that's more of a nitpick than anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's also how I feel about in the Zero Escape trilogy, where they, after the first game, which had one of the coolest art directions I've seen in a game.
Yeah.
I think so, at least. They made them all 3D modeled,
It wasn't
and
as good.
they sync up so poorly with the English voices
Oh
sometimes.
no, it's one of those.
Especially in ZTV. Like,
Oh jeez.
every single other word does not fit. And the animations in ZTD are so bad.
God.
It's like those TF2 YouTube poop styles of
Like Source Filmmaker?
yeah, it's awful. How many
Alright,
people
I guess.
know? How many people out there know the Zero Escape trilogy?
You should. If you like Danganronpa, which I mean you do if you're watching this, then yeah, go play go play the Zero Escape series because it's pretty similar and it's very good.
Games on Steam and PS4.
And PS Vita. Don't forget about the Vita.
Don't play ZTD though. Zero Time
Maybe not.
Dilemma.
They're also
Maybe
all
don't.
on the DS. There's a DS and then the other two are on the 3DS.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah,
I would suggest playing the Military Games one because it has great voice acting.
it does. Shout out to
Seriously.
Junpei's voice actor. Best role.
Voice-
One of his only roles.
What? He was
he's,
so good.
He's in like Monster High.
Remember that show?
No, that was like after my time. I was like 11 when that shit came out.
I never saw it. It did not
Yeah.
look very good.
It was for little girls.
Yep. Put that man in more things.
Yeah, give that man a job. That beautiful Canadian man.
Canadian?
Of course, he's super Canadian.
Is that why his curses are so chat?
Yes. He is such an extremely Canadian voice
First line you hear from him, isn't it? Oh shit, god damn it, what the hell? When he bumps his head. He says
Wait.
something like
Oh wait, I remember exactly. So he's on the top bunk or whatever and he falls off. He just goes, "Ah, god damn it. What the hell?" He
That's
always
how you
like
start.
enunciates his L's.
that's
So
how you
I think
start a game.
I think that's just like a Canadian accent thing. Every Canadian man I've ever seen does their
Also,
L's
his
like that.
design's really cool.
Oh yeah, character design's pretty sick. They're much
How
more
is it?
like grounded than the Danganronpa ones, but they have
Totally.
similar effect.
I do like how there's a reason for the characters' designs being so out there in V3 though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I think V3 had some of the better character designs.
Well, I mean, it was cool that they had like an explanation for it, but it could have been better.
yeah. It didn't even need an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Smith.
Oh, he was in Mirai. Evan Smith, yeah. So yeah, he's doing good for himself. He was in a pretty popular anime movie recently.
2 years ago.
2 years. Well, yeah. I don't know. It was pretty popular. Oh, he was in SMT4. Oh, he's in Trails. That's badass.
He's gotta play that SMT game now. I'll play the SM. I really want to
Yeah.
play the mainline SMT games.
Yeah, 4 is pretty sick.
Is that the one people like the most? I think people like 3
People
and
like
4.
3 a lot, but 4 is pretty high up there. That's the one I played. I like
People
that one
don't
a
seem
lot.
to like If.
They don't?
No.
Huh.
It's
I don't
like,
know. Getting kind of off topic. I think it's time to wrap it up.
probably.
We've been going for 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, I knew this would be a long one.
Yeah, me too. Even though it was definitely a lot, we definitely had to think about things a lot more. 'Cause it definitely is one of those series where you gotta like remember all the little details and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so
So-
yeah,
3 games.
yeah, definitely. They're all fairly short, but they're still pretty long.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's wrap it up. So, Danganronpa is one of my favorite series of all time. I absolutely
Still?
love every game, despite my not so great reception of the ending of V3. But yeah, it's a wonderful little franchise. I like that it's
Niche
what's up?
not niche anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's still kind of niche. Like it's more niche than Persona.
No. I think more people have played Danganronpa than Persona, probably.
Really? I mean,
More people
it's on more consoles.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's probably why.
Maybe. We'll see. Um, but yeah, I absolutely love this series. I'm glad that it's over. I'm so happy to finally have finished it. But even then, there's still so much left for me. I still have to watch the 2.5 OVA, and I still have to play Ultra Despair Girls, and
Yeah.
yeah. And there might
Most of
even be some spin-offs and stuff. And I'm excited to see what they do with it in the future. What's up?
There's like a novel about Kyoko's past. Which,
Oh yeah, there is. There's one for Kyoko's, one for Togami. There's DR Zero, just like a prequel.
I don't even know what happens in DR Zero. I know literally nothing about that.
I think I heard a plot summary of it at some point, but I've pretty much forgotten that at this
I
point.
think people like it.
I think people like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, that was a long one.
It is. Yeah, jeez. All right.
Both
So
have quite a lot to say about the series.
yes, definitely. And we'll probably continue to say more stuff in the future. Maybe with less spoilers, though.
It's on mobile now, the first one, by the
Oh,
way.
If any normies out there don't have any other ways to play Danganronpa, play it on mobile.
It's like, I don't know, $15 maybe. I don't
That's
remember.
pretty cheap.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's probably about it.
Yeah. I think we got everything. That was pretty good. All right.
Play Zero Escape.
Yeah, play Zero Escape. Because you've already played Danganronpa.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you want to play another mostly good trilogy, play Zero Escape.
Yes. And then the Somnium Files, which I think we already recommended in an early episode.
Eyes based.
I is pretty based. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Sticking through this extremely long, spoiler-filled Danganronpa romp.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Shooty Refuty is probably my favorite series of all time.